Hello everyone, welcome to Among the Embers, where it appears that not everyone has logged into Roll20. Well, while people are doing that, as usual, we would like to thank Modifius for creating this wonderful gaming system that we're using. The charming people at Star Trek Online for allowing us to use some of their assets. And Fury Reserve on DeviantArt, who created the template which we used to make the dedication plaque for the USS Nightingale. However, we are not with the Nightingale this week. We are continuing the story of the first Outpost, our interlude, where we follow the Imperial Romulan warbird Firehawk. Its brave crew, who has infiltrated Federation space on the basis that waiting for the Federation to give permission would be insecure and take too long, to reach the mysterious planet of Delphi Ardu 4, I believe it is. The last known outpost of the Takon, a race which vanished 600,000 years ago under circumstances mysteriously similar to what happened at Hobus. So, once they arrived in orbit of the planet, they were unable to find any immediate trace of the Takon, and Portal 63, the Takon officer who watched over the outpost. What they did find was an unidentified small patrol ship fighter shuttle thing which exited warp and made a crash landing on the planet after taking heavy disruptor fire from the Firehawk. On the planet's surface, we have people who I should... Here we go. Yes, Staff Commander Verlac, second in command and operations officer of the Firehawk, beamed down alongside Dr. Tonsek and Lieutenant Iron, along with a couple of security officers. And the group has now split, with the good staff commander and one of the security officers going to try and locate the Takon, and the other three attempting to find the crash site of this mysterious other ship. And that is where we pick up our story.
And for those of you that paid attention to the last session, if you're wondering, hey, that's not how the away team was split up, we decided to change that off the air to help make it more sensical.
Well, we still should probably, RP it out.
I'm not too worried. You can if you wish.
Firefox has apparently forgotten all of my saved logins.
Well, that'd be a problem. There's a reason why I use LastPass for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's also way more secure. Alright. Yes, and as stated last week, we are missing our Chief of Security, Chuck Finley. Yes, that is a pseudonym. And what can you do with Excelsior? Anyway, yes, Commander Nelduno, you have Firehawk in orbit. Everything seems to be going fine. Down on the surface, Dr. Tonsek, I believe you are the ranking officer of the second detachment.
Yep.
Actually, you're both the same rank, but given the fact that Aaron isn't even Romulan, I think that command would default to you.
Right. And I'm the doctor, and we're going on a mission of possible humanitarian, whatever, saving lives. That's what I do.
Indeed. So, first things first, you'll need to locate that crash site. Subcommando will be getting to your stuff shortly.
All right.
But yes, I will be requiring from someone, I believe both you and Iran have pretty decent science. I'll be requiring a control science check. It's normally be difficulty 1, but because of the strange energy properties on the surface here and the range, that's going to be difficulty of 3.
And we got 2 momentum.
Yes, you do. Let's see. Yes,
none
neither
of
of
mine.
you have any particular scanning talents, but your stat's pretty decent.
Yeah. So
Plus, you can assist each other, so that's an extra dice to throw in.
Yep. Well, I think I would probably be. The doctor would probably be the easiest one to find. Oh, I don't know about like the crash, but life forms.
Pretty.
Indeed. Meow?
That's
not what I wanted.
not xenobiology.
No, that won't help you in this circumstance.
Had to try.
At this range, you're going to have an easier time locating the atmospheric disturbances and energy trail, or alternative
Right.
forms.
Well,
Also, spoiler alert: these things don't show up as life forms.
That's
Okay.
correct. Well, it's hardly a spoiler alert.
we're probably gonna have to
Well,
spend
you
this
don't-
momentum.
You don't technically know that it's a crusade yet.
Yeah, that's what stops me from finishing that statement.
All right.
Probably should spend a momentum, and then if I get an assist, that brings it up to 4 dice.
That's correct. Effectively, anyway.
I'd say go for it.
I'm gonna make sure I double click on everything so we don't screw it up.
That sounds like a fine plan.
Because you know, character sheets are like weird.
Yeah.
Alright. Wait, no, the assist person rolls the dice, not me.
That's correct.
So,
Although he will get to re-roll that assist dice because of one of his talents.
Okay, now that I'm actually here and I've finally been able to log into Roll20,
Hello.
what do you need me to roll?
You're rolling control plus science, 1 dice, but you do get your servitor talent.
and I need you to roll a 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I
That's,
can either re-roll that or
I mean,
we can just leave it as is.
I will allow success at a cost, so you might as well re-roll it. Because if you don't get a crit, then you're going to get a complication in order to get through this.
Okay, I'll invoke Servitor and re-roll it. Oh well.
So close.
Yeah. So close, and yet so far. All
Say
right.
levy.
I tried.
Well, under the
Could've been worse.
circumstances, yes, I will eat that threat, which actually does make sense in universe. So yes, you managed to locate the engine trail for the ship. It didn't actually crash all that far off. It definitely looked like it was trying to veer towards this area. So it's not a huge walk to get there. But it does take a little time, partially because the terrain here is just kind of awkward to navigate. All these crystalline formations and weird ravines and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
As you approach, you do get a bit of a stronger reading. And this is my way of saying you may now spend momentum to ask additional questions. I believe, Doctor, you actually have a thing which allows you to get an extra question on top, because studious.
It has to have been.
If you spend a momentum to obtain information, so yeah, if you spend a momentum to ask a question, you get a free question.
Yeah. I have the same talent.
Seems like such a good talent.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have an idea of where it is. Shit. Could we spend? Oh, we're already up to all that threat already. Jeez and Pete's. Do y'all want to spend our last momentum on questions, or just say, well, let's go see what we see?
That's up to you.
Trying to think of what questions could be asked here.
Currently, all you have is the location of the ship. You don't have anything about the status of the ship, or anything about its crew, or anything like that.
Jeez, I just want to. I feel really bad about spending that last momentum.
If it makes you feel any better about spending threat, I start these scenarios at 10 threat. 7 is on the mid to low side, because it costs a lot to do stuff with threat in general.
Tansak and Iran are still a little ways away from the craft, right?
A little bit.
So maybe we can hold off on any potential questions until they actually reach the site.
Yeah, I'm offering the opportunity to ask questions before they get there, effectively.
Yeah, I'm just offering that option.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the only other thing I could think of would be to like sneak up and get some visuals before we make any decisions.
All right, which would be another roll. Which we will come back to. Sub-Commander.
Yes.
I believe you're going to try and contact Aide de Camp.
Aye, Portal 63.
Mm-hmm. So, what's your plan of action?
Well, first off, approach where the Enterprise team first encountered the portal.
Yep, the bridge.
And I guess try to call out to him.
All right.
Vrolak, while studied up on the Enterprise's encounter with the portal, still is rather, what the hell do I do here?
That'll be a presence command check.
Alrighty.
Let's see. Yeah, this isn't really your field, as it were. So let's go with a difficulty of 2, I think.
Okay. I'm curious, could my composure focus apply here?
It's a little bit of a stretch, but I think I will allow it.
Alrighty.
because this is kind of a stressful situation, and you don't know exactly what you're about to walk into. So
Yeah. I think I will spend our last momentum to get another die.
okay.
Oh, yeah. I think I got everything set up right, so let her roll.
Nice. Get your momentum back. All right. What do you say?
Right. Portal 63, I call upon thee.
All right. There is no.
Kind of tacky, but
Yeah. Well, it works. There is no immediate response. And then the police come for you.
yeah, right.
Once again, I apologize to everyone listening. This is price of living next to a police dispatch point. Anyway, so yes, there is no immediate response. Nobody jumps out of the woodwork, as it were. But I assume you've got your tricorder out and stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. You do notice a shift in the energy readings, as though perhaps some device or other has come to life. Maybe even something as simple as just a sensor array. So you have some attention. The question is how you get him to actually come out and talk to you. Because you remember from your studies of the Enterprises report that Portal 63 only actually showed himself when it seemed useful to do so.
Yeah, and I think you think to be more specific about that is that she like sensed the conflict above the planets between the Ferengi and the Enterprise.
Indeed. Well, there is a conflict going on. One which he did not actually stop. So who knows what's going on there? Have a think about your next step, Doctor.
Yes.
You're going all sneaky like.
Well, do our best.
Okay. I'm going to need either from you or Aaron a control security check.
Either, not both.
One of you can assist the other, basically.
Okay.
This is going to be difficulty of 2 overall.
I probably should be the one assisting because my security is garbage.
So is mine.
But Aaron at least has a 12 in control.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
Which
Aaron
means
will-
that you've still got a better dice roll than the security officer who's with you.
Okay. Great. We're sending the house servant to lead the away team in sneaking. Awesome.
Oh, hey, you had some experience of being invisible.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I feel like we're kind of playing along with the rule 1 of how not to be seen. Don't stand up.
Got 11 multi Python.
Alrighty. Control security, you said.
Control security, difficulty 2. And you do have an assist with you. Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh no.
That's not gonna help.
come on!
We are
You-
as
You
sneaky
can
as one
reroll
would
the
think.
dice because you do have servicer, and you're technically being ordered to lead this.
Alright.
Well, at least there's no complication.
Yeah.
Double or nothing, folks. Gosh darn it.
Okay. Well, you approach the crash site and you try to use the terrain a bit, but to be fair, getting cover here is difficult.
This is not a
I mean, there
Romulan
are rocks
hallway
you
or a
can
ship.
hide behind, but it's not really anyone's specialty here. It's not what you're good at.
And if the planet is still as it was back in 2364, there's a bunch of like thunder and lightning going on about.
Yeah, which is an extra thing to deal with. But you approach, you get a relatively good vantage point over the crash site, and you get a good look at what's there. I'm actually going to give you a good look.
Huh.
That's the shape of it.
Is it swept forward or back? Like which
Back.
direction? Okay,
It's facing to the right.
Okay, gotcha.
So you can see some pretty sizable disruptor scorching on the hull, where the Firehawk's cannons ate into it. And yeah, it's not looking in the best of shape. You can also see some movement around the ship. Several humanoid figures. And I'm going to need some scans if you want more than that.
I definitely want to scan, focusing on life signs, see if I can get somewhat of an identification of what type of species or anything they are.
Okay. And Aaron, I'm guessing you're going to try and scan the ship?
Yeah, that does not look like any ship I have seen before.
Indeed. All right, Aaron. In that case, that is going to be. Let's go with insight engineering, I think.
Not my best stat, but okay, I'll take it.
You've still got a 5 in engineering.
Yes, well,
And yes, you don't have any focuses for this.
Sadly
So
not.
we're going to go with the difficulty of 1 here.
Alrighty. Oh, really?
Come on!
This would be great if I were playing D&D.
I mean, you're not wrong. All right. Yes. This is definitely not a ship design that you're familiar with. In fact, even the metal composing the hull is not a familiar alloy.
Ah,
I'm just going to eat that for threat. I can't think of a good complication for you right now. Yeah, it's usual rules. Momentum gets you extra questions.
we only have the one.
Besides, I think we pretty much know all that we can. at least about the craft.
I can think of a couple of questions to ask, but I'm not sure I want to spend our last momentum on just asking interesting bits of information.
Yeah. All right. In that case, Tonsek,
Yes.
what exactly are you trying to identify?
Life signs, if any. How many?
All right.
See if there's any like unusual, I don't know, life signature type things that come up odd.
Let's go with reason science then. Difficulty 1.
Okay.
And you have xenobiology, so I will allow that here.
Yep.
Okay.
Nice. Takes it up to 3 momentum.
Huzzah!
All right. Well, the first thing that strikes you is that you are not getting conventional life form ratings of them, even the ones that are clearly moving. There are also indications that they are wearing some kind of metallic armor. But yep, that's all your freebies. Oh, there's actually one other thing, which I will need to just double check my numbers. Did actually have a note somewhere of exactly how many were on the crew for this. All right. You are picking up five moving humanoids, along with, it'll look like there might be 4 which aren't, which are being pulled out of the crash site. Assuming that they're all crew, that would be a crew of 9, which is fairly large for a ship of this size.
By about 8.
Sorry, what?
I said by about 8. Or maybe 7, since shuttles of that size can usually be flown by just one person.
I mean, it's a reasonably sized ship. It's
Probably more comparable
it's
to
larger than
a.
it's larger than a runabout. Let's go with that. Not by much, but it is.
Okay.
It's not dinky. This is technically classified as a gunship.
Well, since I earned some momentum, do we want to keep it, or can I ask? I
would say at least spend 1 to find to get a more in-depth scan on these individuals.
You do get 2 questions for spending a momentum, so that's a good deal.
Yeah, let's do that. 2 for 1 seems a good idea. All right. Oh shit! I had a question, but I guess that one is less on the scan, but just on what I can see is like, do they seem, from what I can see, injured? Like I guess the easiest way to be able to tell that is like the ones that are moving around and pulling things out, is their signature more stable than maybe one of the others that they are?
There are indications of awkwardness for some of them. like they're moving in slightly unusual ways, like limping, that kind of thing. But you're not getting any. Your scan readings are the same for all of them. In terms of the actual energy readings you're getting, that would be another question.
And that was going to be my next. Is like, is there any specific type of energy that the scans are getting that are kind of being like, hey, this is not. They're not necessarily your typical humanoid.
Yes. You are getting. There are definitely in some interesting energy readings surrounding the 5 moving ones, and energy traces on the 4 stationary ones. The exact type of energy. Hold on. Just need to double check my terminology. I did actually look this up. Okay. It's anaphasic energy.
What is anaphasic energy?
Anaphasic energy is a highly unstable type of energy which, just left to its own devices, tends to dissipate. It needs to be contained in some fashion.
How do you spell that?
ANAPHASIC.
Which common sense would say if they're wearing metallic armor, that armor might be holding their stuff together.
Exactly.
So that leads us to the question of what do we want to do with this? We have them. Some of them may not be at 100%